is Savannah Hernandez standing in front of the Al Hassan Islamic Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. Now, I'm standing here because this mosque has made national headlines after they penned a letter of community support for a Somali immigrant who sexually assaulted a 12-year-old. Now, back in 2024, this perpetrator was charged after abducting a 12-year-old from her backyard, forcing her into his vehicle, and then sexually assaulting her. He has since been convicted of first-degree criminal sexual assault. Now, after being convicted, his family members were sending letters to the judge to ask the judge to consider his character when making that sentencing.
That is when people lose me. Why can I consider your character because you are a minority? I don't understand that part. You're saying like, hey, you're the little brother. You can make mistakes because you don't understand the world. Is that fair? As if that might not incentivize people to do it again?
And one of those letters came from the Al Hassan Islamic Center. It was actually signed by their executive director, stating that he had to face cultural differences and the challenges of taking on a new culture. They also framed him as a family-oriented man who sends his money oftentimes back to his family members in Somalia. The judge actually gave him the lightest sentencing possible. He is only going to be serving 8 years in jail for this crime. He was sentenced to 12 years, but those last 4 years are going to be spent out of jail and on probation.
The reason I have an issue with this is that we need to take in consideration that he needs to adapt to the culture, but for some odd reason, the other people that need to adapt to his culture, you don't have any empathy. I just find it odd. If I need to adapt to the new person that doesn't understand me, I also need to adapt to them. But there's no empathy for me to adapt to them. And that's why it's unfair. Like most people don't feel safe for their kids. You don't have time to integrate. You're just a bad person.
By the way, going back to that point about the challenges of a different culture, this perpetrator has been in the United States of America since 2006. So he's been in the United States for 19 years. He was born in Somalia, but he has been here for almost 2 decades at this point. However, the culture coming into play when it comes to, as the Islamic Center put it, this situation, the situation, of course, being him sexually assaulting and abducting a 12-year-old girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can't do the same thing. I say it's a one-time thing. But it's kind of frustrating that whenever I see this defense,
consider his character when making that sentencing. So just wanted to give you guys an idea of some of these stories, some of the cultural impact happening here in Minnesota as it relates to the Somali community.
I would say this: if you want to integrate in the culture where there is consequence for the culture itself, you should receive the same punishment as the people from the same culture. Because officially, by my standard, that means you're actually integrating and you respect their laws.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde, kush hash purple skunk, criollo colombici jam jam, durlo que ta verdetta welcome.